Take a good look at the penguin, the tiger or the jaguar, squirrels, crocodiles or even snakes. All of these animals have been on planet Earth for millions of years. All these animals dwell in different habitats, but one factor is common among all of them. They all look the same. The upper side of their body is darker in coloration compared to the lower side. Now, if you study carefully, this trait runs through almost all kinds of animals, both predators and prey. This color pattern has kept repeating itself for hundreds of millions of years. Since the 17th century, a lot of scientists have tried to fully understand the essence of dark and light color patterns in animals, but their effort was always fruitless until an artist came up with a clue to the original function of color shades in animals. This artist is Abbot Henderson Thayer. Thayer was an experienced painter. He discovered that to give a picture a realistic look, it needs to be painted in three color tones: dark tone, middle tone, and light tone. If you look through a window, this is what the outside view looks like. But certainly you are not looking through a window. This is a flat picture on a wall. Thayer discovered animals also had three-tone color patterns. But obviously, animals are not pictures. If so, why do they have color shades? This dark and light color patterns of animals is what present-day biologists refers to as counter-shading. The mechanism of counter-shading in animals involves the use of light and shadow to create an illusion of depth and flatness. Almost all animals have counter-shading colors as a form of camouflage to help them avoid detection by their prey or potential predators. This coloration helps to break up the outline of the animal, making it more difficult to detect in its environment. Counter-shading is particularly useful for predators, as it allows them to approach their prey without being detected. This is why most predators seem to reduce their actual height and start to crawl while stalking a prey in the grasslands. They use their counter-shading coloration to blend in with the shadows and remain undetected until it is close enough to make its final approach. Counter-shading is also useful in prey animals as well, helping them to also avoid detection by predators. A gazelle with counter-shading coloration blends in with the ground to avoid detection by a predator that is scanning the area from above. This is very efficient in keeping prey from detection, especially from predators that rely heavily on sight for hunting, like lions and hyenas. Though the tiger's vision is 6 times better than humans, it is only effective at night. In terms of differentiating between colors, the tiger is less efficient compared to humans. It's a game of 50-50 chances. You don't see me, I don't see you. Counter-shading has evolved over millions of years through natural selection. The concept of counter-shading was first proposed by famous British naturalist Charles Darwin in his book The Descent of Man and Selection in Relation to Sex in the year 1871. Darwin proposed that counter-shading provides a survival advantage to animals by reducing their visibility to predators. Later in 1890, American zoologist Edward Bagnall Porter provided further support for Darwin's theory by showing how certain animals have evolved patterns that mimic the environment they live in, helping them avoid detection by predators. But per modern researchers, counter-shading is not just for camouflage. There has been many theories that prove that counter-shading has a lot of additional functions that scientists have not even discovered yet. Animals like penguins use counter-shading to regulate their body temperature. They turn their backs to the sun to absorb more heat, helping to keep them warm or cool, depending on their environment. For some animals too, counter-shading is a form of communication. Many fishes have bright-colored undersides, which they use to signal other fishes during mating or territorial displays. There are 2 main types of counter-shading in animals: true counter-shading and false counter-shading. True counter-shading refers to animals that have a uniform color on the upper and lower surfaces, with no distinct markings or patterns. Animals that use true counter-shading include sharks and some species of fish. False counter-shading refers to animals that have distinct patterns or markings on their upper and lower surfaces that break up the outline of their body. A typical example of animals that use counter-shading includes deer, zebras, and many species of birds. For zebras, they do not enjoy the benefits of counter-shading when they are close to the predator. They only become less conspicuous when they are spotted far away. The darker stripes on the upper side blend in with the shadows of the grass, while the lighter stripes on the underside blend in with the bright sky. This helps to protect them from predators such as lions and hyenas. Counter shading is not unique to modern animals. In fact, some of the earliest known animals had counter shading. Ichthyosaur. This animal lived during the Mesozoic era, around 250 million years ago. It had a body shape similar to that of a dolphin, with a long snout, streamlined body, and a powerful tail. It also had counter shading, with a dark blue-gray back and a lighter underside. Ichthyosaurs likely used their counter shading to hide from predators, like large marine reptiles or sharks. They also used it to sneak up on prey, as the dark coloration helped them to blend in with the shadows of the ocean floor. Another example of a prehistoric animal with counter shading is the dinosaur, specifically Sinosauropteryx. This small feathered dinosaur lived during the early Cretaceous period, around 125 million years ago. It had a dark brown back and a light brown underside, with stripes on its tail that helped it to break up its outline. It likely used its counter shading to hide from predators like larger carnivorous dinosaurs. Its feathered coat also helped it to stay warm in cooler environments. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more science videos. Keep watching the Busy IQ. Have a nice day.